Hi fam, welcome back to my channel. This is Mdea J, and today's video is going to be a smoky blue makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette from Ditto Cosmetics. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe and turn on your notification bell. So we're starting off with the base. I'm using the Rumour number 2.5 from Plouise. It's quite a light base because we're going to be playing with blues, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I don't like to change up the color of my blues. So the palette of choice is from Ditto Cosmetics, and this is the neon palette, and this is a palette that I received a couple of months ago, but I just haven't been able to use it. So the first shadow that I'm using is called Navy. It's the darkest blue in the palette, and I do want to say that the pigmentation of this palette is fantastic. To darken the outer corner, I'm using the shade called Carbon, which is the black. And you can see how well it layers on top. It doesn't take away from the blue, it doesn't overshadow the blue. It really complements that shadow and blends in quite nicely. And that's kind of like what I look for in colored eyeshadow palettes. Next shade is called Sky, and I'm using that to just soften the edge of Navy and Carbon. Now this is an all matte eyeshadow palette, 12 colors in it, and it retails for $18.99, and I am very appreciative to Ditto Cosmetics for sending this to me because it is an absolute banger, and they do ship to the UK in case if you're interested. So on the lid I just applied Sky because I want to go in with a liquid eyeshadow because I want a little bit of shimmer, but honestly you can go with this shadow and call it a day. But for extra pizzazz, I'm using this liquid shadow from Stila. Everything I'm using will be linked in the description box, don't worry. And this one has a nice iridescent shift to it. So with the liquid shadows from Stila, I like to apply it directly to my lid, and then I use a brush to kind of like blend it in and make sure that it fully dries down. Because if you don't do that, your lid will crease. And then to soften the edge of that, I just use the same brush that I used to apply Navy. So for my face, I'm using the e.l.f. Blurring Primer. This is the Pore Perfecting Primer, or the Pore Primer. This is why I always leave everything linked in the description box because I can never remember the names of these products, honestly. All I know is that it blurs out my pores. Okay, so I'm applying that with a brush from Urban Decay, which is pretty old but still a goodie. And then my foundation is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation in mahogany. I'm also using a brush that I bought from Amazon. Honestly, I tell you, I don't discriminate when it comes to my brushes. Literally anywhere I can get them. It's a flat kabuki, like flat top kabuki brush that I just use. I love using brushes like that to apply my foundation. My concealer is from Laura Mercier. I've used this in so many other videos. I do love the pigmentation of this concealer. It's very creamy, very pigmented. Do give your concealer a couple of minutes to settle down before you blend it out. I promise you, you get the best payoff and you won't need to use a lot of concealer. So once that's settled down a little bit, I'm going in to blend it out, and I'm using just a beauty sponge. At this point I have so many just random beauty sponges, so you can get so many now, so definitely just get yourself one. You can also use a brush, but I'm not really a fan of using brushes. And to further highlight a little bit, because I kind of want the brightened effect underneath my eye, I'm using the Tarte creaseless concealer, and I'm blending it. In hindsight, I regret using this concealer because the fine lines appeared like, who said this was creaseless? This thing creases, so definitely use a better concealer. Very disappointed with that one from Tarte. And then to set that, I'm using the BeautyCrop Vitamin Babe setting powder. And I like the color of this setting powder. It isn't yellow, it's pretty much neutral, and so it gives me a brightened effect without being overly yellow. And then I'm popping this eyeliner in my waterline, and in hindsight I probably wouldn't because this one has specks of glitter in it, and it's from Wonder 2. This is nice for your top lash line or directly on your lower lash line. I wouldn't recommend that you pop that in your waterline because honestly I struggled. That day my eye was like, girl, what are you doing? To blend that out, I just use the same navy blue shadow from the Dido Cosmetics palette. Setting my face with the Revolution Pro CC powder. Love this. I'm also using this big, beautiful powder brush from Color Drain. I do have a discount code with Color Drain, and they do make amazing brushes. You can also get Color Drain from Feel Unique if you live in the UK. To bronze, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mommy bronzer. This brush as well is from Amazon. Honestly, I tell ya, I can buy brushes from eBay. I don't care because you know what, they work and they look nice, so why not? So yeah, I don't discriminate when it comes to brushes. So I'm just using it to warm up my face. I find that with blue looks, I kind of need a good balance of cool tone and warm tone so that I don't look dead, because sometimes you can look too cool tone, especially if you're a person of color. To contour and chisel out my cheekbones, I'm using this Revolution X Roxy contour and highlight palette, and I love that color because it just really defined my cheekbones, still giving me the warmth, but it looks nicely chiseled and I look like I've got definition. I'm using this blush palette from Ofra, and I'm just bringing some warmth to my cheeks using the same brush that I used to apply the Fenty Beauty bronzer. So definitely use multi-use brushes. You don't have to use one brush for different things. You can use one brush for so many things on your face. And then I'm now going back with that eye pencil and applying it to my lower lash line, which is literally what I should have done and avoided my waterline, but we learn and we move. I'm still learning makeup. You forever learn. Okay, so some things work, some things don't. And then for my mascara, I'm using the Morphe Big Prime Mascara. This is a mascara primer, I should say. So if you've got itty bitty lashes, or if you just want to present your lashes in the best light, I recommend using an eyelash primer before you go in with your mascara. I do give my eyelashes a couple of minutes to dry down before I use the mascara. So in the meantime, I'm using the highlighter from the Revolution X Roxy palette. And I do like the highlighter. It's a really nice gold, beautiful highlighter. And now I'm going in with the Morphe Big Prime. No, the Morphe Make It Big mascara. I love this mascara. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite mascaras of all time. Lining my lips with the MAC lip pencil in Chestnut, because we're back to using Chestnut. If you can't afford Chestnut, you could definitely use the MUA Academy lip pencil in Obsession, which is literally £2. And then I use this gloss from Morphe. That's the Morphe Madison Bear collection. And this is the final look. I do want to say that the Dido Cosmetics palette is super pigmented. I'm not just saying this because I was gifted it. Honestly, I've been gifted a lot of things, so by now you should trust my opinion when I say that this is a really good all matte colorful eyeshadow palette that is worth every penny. Just for $18.99 you get so much pigmentation and no fallout, and the colors blend seamlessly, so I highly recommend them. They also have other eyeshadow palettes that you can check out on their page. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think about this look. I feel like I'm back to doing blue looks a lot now on my YouTube channel. Almost feel like I took a break just doing neutral looks. But I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on your notification bell so you know when next I release a video. And remember, God doesn't like ugly. Be nice to someone today, and Black lives always matter. And I'll catch you in a future video. Bye.